Hello everyone and welcome to another Pyro Gaming video. Today is Tuesday, which means there are some fresh vendor roles that we need to go check out, starting with Crucible, as we have been doing. So taking a look here, we will start with the 0-Day Dilemma auto rifle that comes with Persistence, Small Bore, Appended Magazine, Crowd Control, and Grenadier. This is not going to be a bad option for Crucible if you are a fan of auto rifles in the Crucible with this archetype. Persistence, this is going to be one that you're going to want to hold down that trigger. Small bore is always good. You get a little bit of a boost to range and stability. And you could also run Appended Magazine here in addition to small bore, which is going to be nice. And Crowd Control is just an all-around pretty good Crucible perk. So, yeah, that's not terrible. Not terrible at all. Next up, we have the B29 Party Favor Pulse Rifle with Counterbalance, Small Bore, Feather Mag, Rodeo, and Take a Knee. Counterbalance is really good, Small Bore is really good, but Rodeo, it seems good on paper, but honestly, it changes the stats maybe like 1 or 2 points. It doesn't hardly do anything. So I would pass on that one. We've seen better B29 Party Favors than that one. Next up, the Hero Formula with Firefly, Small Bore, High Caliber Rounds, Life Support, and Last Resort. For PvE, this is not going to be a great option. For Crucible, however, this could be a decent option with Firefly, High Caliber Rounds to stagger, and Life Support to give you your health back when you're in those engagements. Other than that, I would say pass on this one. Unless you just want to try it out in Crucible, it might be okay. Next up, we have the Palindrome, the fan favorite, with Luck in the Chamber, Hammer Forged, and Outlaw. Secondary perks being Partial Refund and Explosive Rounds. You're going to want to go with these top 3 right here. Do we have True Sight? We have Sure Shot, which is still pretty good. So I would run Sure Shot, Outlaw, Hammer Forged, and Luck in the Chamber. And this is going to be a very solid Crucible hand cannon right here, guys. It's going to be really good. I would definitely recommend picking that one up if you're a fan of Crucible hand cannons. Next up, the Each New Day Fusion Rifle with Hidden Hand, Hand-Laid Stock, Enhanced Battery, Spray and Play, and Last Resort. This is really good, this is very good, and this is pretty good. So for Crucible, that's where you're probably going to want to use this. I would say use it in Crucible over PvE. It's not the best PvE role. What I would do is, for Crucible, I would run Hidden Hand and Hand-Laid Stock. Over here, either one of these are going to be fine, but for PvE, I would run Hidden Hand and Enhanced Battery, because that's going to give you a 7-round magazine, and that's going to be a lot of fun, guys. But yeah, this isn't terrible. Definitely not terrible. The 44 Curtain Call, Shotgun, Crowd Control, Rifled Barrel, Quick Draw, Close and or Personal Battle Runner. This has way too many situational perks. I'm going to say pass on that. Anton's Rule, we have Hot Swap, Fitted Stock, Casket Mag, Relentless Tracker, Army of One. I would say definitely pass on that. Event Horizon with Arc Burn, Unflinching, Skip Rounds, Casket Mag, Underdog, and Spray and Play. So Unflinching is going to be good on sniper rifles because they flinch so much. I would run Casket Mag here to get 4 rounds out of the magazine instead of the 3. And then over here, I would run Spray and Play, because this thing does reload kind of slow. Do we have any short gazes? No, but we do have an ambush, and that is a pretty good sight. So this is going to be a decent option for PvE. I would say pick that one up if you're just a fan of that archetype and need a solid high-impact arc sniper. Chaotic Neutral, Hidden Hand, Perfect Balance, Armor Piercing, Life Support, Guerrilla Fighter. Just doesn't have enough for me. I'm going to say pass on that. And lastly, the Something Wicked Rocket Launcher, which is one of my favorites. And it comes with Cluster Bomb, Perfect Balance, Field Scout, Battle Runner, and Last Resort. It just doesn't have it. These two are really good, but you just don't have me over here. So I'm going to say pass on this one, and that is it for Crucible. So checking in with New Monarchy, we will start with the Assembly 2 Auto Rifle with Hidden Hand, Perfect Balance, Spray and Play, Extended Mag, and Lightweight. This is going to be another solid option for Crucible Auto Rifle fans this week. Hidden Hand, Perfect Balance, and Extended Mag. You're going to get probably pretty close to a 70-round magazine out of this thing with this. So, yeah, Crucible guys, definitely pick this one up. PvE guys, I would pass on it because this is not a PvE archetype auto rifle by any means. But Crucible, yeah, that's another great assembly. Back-to-back great weeks for Crucible auto rifles. Next up, the Free Will 3 hand cannon with rangefinder, perfect balance, outlaw, high caliber rounds, and lightweight. This is going to be a Crucible roll for sure with rangefinder. You could either do perfect balance or outlaw here. Either one will be good. And you definitely want to rock the high caliber rounds over lightweight, because high caliber rounds are going to stagger your enemies in the Crucible. Over here, do we have Sure Shot? We don't. But Steady Hand's probably going to be your best bet here. I would go ahead and stick with Steady Hand IS. But yeah, that's another solid Crucible hand cannon. A lot of Crucible rolls this week, man, so far at least. Next up, the Impreacher Sidearm. We have Hidden Hand, Fitted Stock, Army of One, Flared Magwell, Lightweight. Just doesn't quite do it for me. I'm going to pass on that one. I feel like we can do better. Bad Counsel Shotgun with Rangefinder, Perfect Balance, Surrounded, Hand-Loaded, and Lightweight. So you can get some pretty good range here, for sure, with this particular roll. And pretty stable, too. I mean, it just doesn't do it for me. I'm going to say pass. If you just want a Void Shotgun, this isn't terrible by any means, but I'm just going to say pass. Deposition, Unflinching, Perfect Balance, Triple Tap, Skip Rounds, Lightweight, doesn't have it, don't touch it. And lastly, First Citizen with Hidden Hand, Perfect Balance, Crowd Control, Extended Mag, and Lightweight. So this is going to be a pretty good option for PvE guys that want a machine gun to just mow down ads. Crowd Control is going to give you bonus damage. Extended Mag is going to bump this up to close to 100. And, I mean, Hidden Hand's never bad. So this is definitely going to be a decent PvE option for those of you who want to just have a bullet hose machine gun to mow down a bunch of ads. Other than that, I would say pass on it. So that is it for New Monarch. Okay, shut up. So moving on to Dead Orbit, we will start with the Extremophile 11 auto rifle that comes with Hidden Hand, Small Bore, Rodeo, Armor-Piercing Rounds, and Snapshot. So if you pick these three perks right here, which is Armor-Piercing, Small Bore, and Hidden Hand, you have yourself a pretty decent Crucible auto rifle. So we're continuing with the theme of just Crucible weapons this week. But yeah, that's not bad. I would pick it up, try it out. Next up, Keystone with Crowd Control, Perfect Balance, Third Eye, Armor-Piercing Rounds, and Quick Draw. So Crowd Control is really mostly a Crucible perk. With this high-impact Scout Rifle, Crowd Control is not going to be as important on this as it would be in Crucible versus PvE. And Armor-Piercing Rounds just doesn't do it for me. I'm going to say pass on this one. We've seen better Keystones over the last few weeks. Next up, the Worlds to Come Fusion Rifle, which was my reward for the Nightfall this week on PS4. We have Hot Swap, Perfect Balance, Performance Bonus, Enhanced Battery, and Snapshot. So again, man, this is going to be a Crucible when you're going to want to run Hot Swap, Performance Bonus, and Enhanced Battery. And the reason being is because with the special ammo economy the way that it is in Crucible right now, this is going to give you a couple of free rounds by getting kills with this weapon, and this is going to give you more ammo for each pickup that you do from these special ammo boxes. And Hot Swap's just always fun on Fusion Rifles. So yeah, another solid Crucible option right here, guys. Another solid option for the Crucible. Next up, the Last Ditch. Rangefinder, Small Bore, Close and/or Personal, Flared Magwell, and Snapshot. This is good. This is good. You don't really have me here. I'm going to say pass on this one. I feel like we can do better for shotguns. Bitter Edge, Trash Archetype, Unflinching, Hammerforge, Mulligan, Snapshot, Armor Piercing, Trash Roll, don't touch it. Unto Dust, Trash Archetype, Grenades and Horseshoes, Spray and Play, Perfect Balance, Field Scout, and Snapshot. This is going to be a decent option for Crucible. Again, Grenades and Horseshoes, Perfect Balance over Spray and Play, and Field Scout to get that 3-round... Oh, never mind. I'm stupid. This is carried ammo capacity. Yeah, so anyway, for Crucible, I would say pass. Grenades and Horseshoes isn't good enough to justify using it. Let's move on to Future War Cult now. Future War Cult, let's do this. We have the Whale Hand Cannon with Rangefinder, Perfect Balance, Hot Swap, Explosive Rounds, and Hip Fire. Good perk, good perk, good perk. This is going to be another Crucible roll, guys. I would try it out if you're a fan of Crucible Crucible hand cannons. The Waltz, we have counterbalance, perfect balance, third eye, high caliber rounds, and hip fire. So as far as this archetype goes, this is the same archetype as some of the more popular weapons in the Crucible. And you have counterbalance and perfect balance. You're going to have a very stable pulse rifle right here, guys. And you add high caliber rounds to that, where you get a slight boost to range, and you have the ability to flinch, and you got yourself a pretty damn near god roll pulse rifle right here. For Crucible, of course. What side options do we have here? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Steady hand IS, you're going to get even more. Look at that. Look at that stability boost right there. Plus these. Guys, this is almost a god roll Crucible pulse rifle. I would absolutely say pick this one up. If you are a fan of pulse rifles in the Crucible, get this week. The weighting, we have hot swap, small bore, performance bonus, accelerated coils, and lightweight. Not terrible. Not terrible. That's all I'm going to say. It's not awful. The Wounded Scout Rifle with crowd control, small bore, outlaw, snapshot, armor piercing. These are a lot of Crucible perks, but this isn't really a good Crucible weapon, so I'm going to say pass. Next up, the Wormwood, sidearm, rangefinder, hand-loaded, army of one, armor piercing, snapshot. There were much better sidearm options last week, so I'm going to say pass on this one this week. And lastly, we have the Warpath with Cluster Bomb, Heavy Payload, Tripod, Field Scout, and Snapshot. So this is going to be a pretty solid PvE option. This is probably going to be the best PvE rocket launcher that you're going to see this week. You're going to want Cluster Bomb, you're going to want Tripod, you're going to want Field Scout, you're going to have an 8-round magazine. So, or not an 8-round magazine, but you're going to be able to carry about 8 rounds or more with some kind of bonus. This is going to be pretty good. This is going to be pretty solid. Do we have hard launch? We do. Yeah, this is going to be pretty solid. Actually, I would go with soft launch here. Get that little bit of a boost velocity while sacrificing some blast radius. But with cluster bombs, you're going to get pretty good blast radius anyway. So yeah, that's pretty solid. I would definitely pick that up for PvE rocket launcher fans. And that wraps it up for Future War Cult. So last, we will take a look at the Vanguard Quartermaster, starting with the Continental Auto Rifle that comes with counterbalance, perfect balance, appended magazine, rodeo, and hip fire. If you want really good stability, this will give you really good stability. This is going to be more of a Crucible auto rifle, because this is not a good archetype for auto rifles in PvE. It's not really a good archetype for auto rifles in PvP either, but if you're a fan of this archetype, this is a pretty solid roll for Crucible. Next up, the Parthenon Shot Pulse Rifle with counterbalance, perfect balance, rifle barrel, secret round, and take a knee. Excuse me, take a knee. Burping into my microphone. Counterbalance is good. Perfect balance is good. You kind of lose me over here. I'm going to say pass on this week. Angel's Advocate. Return to Cinder, small bore, armor-piercing rounds, life support, take a knee. You should absolutely pass on that because it does not come anywhere near to the one that they had last week. And hopefully you guys took my advice and picked up the Angel's Advocate last week because it is so godly. It is so much fun. Next up, the How Dare You hand cannon, reactive reload, reinforced barrel, casket mag, triple tap, rescue mag. This thing's kind of all over the place. You have a really good Crucible perk here for this archetype. You have a really good PvE, or I'm sorry, another really good Crucible perk here, but here you kind of lose me because this is PvE. So this just doesn't do it for me, man. Not with this archetype. I'm going to say pass on that. Next up, the X-Astris Fusion Rifle. We have Eye of the Storm, brace frame, enhanced battery, spray and play, and replenish. So what you're going to want to do here for Crucible, you got to select Eye of the Storm. You're going to go with enhanced battery or braced frame. I would say braced frame because this is really good to have that high of stability on this archetype. And then replenish so that when you pop your super, you get some free special out of it. That's going to be really handy in the Crucible. I would say pick it up, try it out. Next up, the Teacup Tempest sidearm with hot swap, fitted stock, lightweight, mulligan, crowd control. Pretty shitty sidearm perks this week. I'm sorry that my voice is kind of scratchy, guys. I've been sick all weekend. It's actually really hurting my voice to do all this. My throat is on fire right now to talk this long. Occam's Razor, Rangefinder, Small Bore, Quick Draw, Replenish, Life Support. Not terrible for Crucible. I would run Replenish or Life Support. Either one of these are really good in the Crucible. I would probably run this one to get that free special when I pop my super. But yeah, not a bad Crucible roll by any means. Next up, where were we? We have the 7th Sense. This is a trash archetype. Unflinching explosive rounds. I'm not even going to finish. Don't touch it. It's trash. Bone Crusher Machine Gun. Coming with Crowd Control, Small Bore, Rifled Barrel, Feeding Frenzy, and Guerrilla Fighter. So, for Crucible, again, a lot of fucking Crucible rolls this week, but this is one of the best Crucible rolls that we've seen this week, honestly. Crowd Control is going to be really good on this. Small Bore is going to be really good on this. Feeding Frenzy and Guerrilla Fighter, I would go with Guerrilla Fighter and just try to find that cover, man. If you can find cover with this, you're going to be unstoppable in the Crucible when it's heavy round. Even if you wanted to go with Feeding Frenzy, I mean, it could be good here too. So yeah, that's solid for Crucible, man. That's a really good Crucible machine gun. Last, disassembly required. Cluster Bomb, Quick Draw, Javelin, Vacuum, Last Resort. This is going to be more of a PvE roll. I would do Cluster Bomb, I would do Javelin, and I would do Vacuum. This is pretty good, but this isn't great. But this is still going to be a solid rocket launcher for PvE. If you just need a good, solid workhorse rocket launcher that does arc damage, I would say pick this one up. If you already have a decent rocket launcher with arc damage, I would say pass on this. What options do we have here? Confined launch, soft launch, countermass. I would definitely go with soft launch here. You combine that with Javelin, you're gonna have pretty good velocity. So yeah, pick that one up for PvE if you want a good workhorse arc burn rocket launcher. And that is it for the week, guys. There are your weapons for the week. I really like how you disable HUD, and it constantly reminds you that you have your HUD disabled every time you get out of your menu. So that's going to do it for the week, guys. I will have some more videos up this week, hopefully, depending on how my throat feels. If I can actually talk long enough to make these videos. Because my throat is on fire right now, man. Holy shit. But that's it, guys. Comment down below. Let me know if you pick any of these up. If you try them out, let me know what you think about them. And that is going to bring this video to an end. If you enjoyed it, click like. If you're new to the channel, click subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, I fucking love you. Thank you for watching, and take care, guys.